All right, so now our bottom sheet is ready. Now we are good to work on our change password section. So we have this bottom sheet with change password. So for this change password, what we can do, we can have our entire edit form here, or maybe we can create a separate component for this. So let's create a component. So in here, shared, we are going to create a component, razor component, change password form, something like this. Change password form. Okay, and we already have a model for this changing password, so we'll say private change password DTO, right? Model equals new model, this default value. Then we are going to have our edit form. I don't have IntelliSense now. Okay, so in edit form, we are going to have our model with this underscore model. And then on valid submit, we are going to have a method call here. So change password async, something like this. And we are going to define this method here. So private async task change password async. Okay. Now in here, we are going to have a div class mb3. Before this, we are going to have our data annotations validator. Data annotations validator. Save it. And in mb3, first we are going to have a label, class form label, current password, and input text type. We are going to set password, so not type of, just type. And then we are going to say bind value equals underscore model dot current password. And then we are going to have a class here, form control. And we had our class, what was the app entry or entry app? Let's quickly check what was that. So in triple w root css app.css, we had some class app entry. App entry, yes, this is correct. And then we can have placeholder as well. So we'll say enter current password. Okay. Now what happened? Enter current password single one. All right. After this, we are going to have our validation message. So we'll say validation message for, it is going to be model dot current password. And here we can have a class text changer. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this 2 times. So one is going to be new password, model dot new password, model dot new password, and the placeholder enter new password, current password. Then we are going to have one more for re-enter. What is the name of that? Is confirm new password. Re-enter new password. This is going to be confirm new password, confirm new password. And then here we'll say re-enter new password. Okay. And after this, we are going to have a buttons. So div class, we can have d grid. which is for display grid, and inside this we are going to have our button. We'll say button type submit. In the class we are going to have btn app, and here we can say change password or save changes. Okay, now for current password async, first we need to inject our app state so that we can show the loader. We'll say app state, then we are going to inject our API. So what was that? User API, I user API. We'll say user API. Then in here, first thing we'll say app state dot show loader. Then we are going to have a try catch block here, and we'll say var API result equals the user API dot change password async. Here we need to provide change password DTO, which is our model, and we will await this. Okay, then it returns us API result only. We can check if API result dot its success is not true. Then we'll say await MAUI interop dot alert async message. This we will get from API result dot error, and the title we could say error only, and then we'll return from here. If that's not the case, that means the saving was successful. We can show a toast message. We'll say MAUI interop dot toast async password changed successfully, and then we need to move back from this form. So this change password form, we are going to use this inside bottom sheet on our profile page. So here we are on profile page. At this place we are going to have our change password form. Now when the saving is done, that means if we are here, that means the change password operation is successful. After that we need to close this bottom sheet. So that means we need a mechanism by which we can trigger something, raise from here that this operation is successful. So on this change password form, we are going to have one parameter, event callback. We'll say, let's say on saved when this operation is done. So we will have parameter and editor required here. After saving, we'll simply say on saved dot invoke async. And in here in change password form, we can simply get that on saved, and what we want to do, we just want to close this bottom sheet. So we will have this same logic, show change password sheet to false. Save it, go back, we are good. We don't need this question mark dot. In case of exception, we can simply show an error message, something like this, ex.message, and then in finally block we'll simply say appstate.hide load. With this it should work. Alright, let's try to run this. Okay, so I'm here in my app on profile page. Here if we say change password, we can see this form, and it has this crawler. We should not have this, right? It should come totally here only. So we have something which is not suitable for our use case. Let's see why. Maybe we have some fixed height on this, something like this. Let's see what is causing this. Maybe it is some bootstrap. From bootstrap side only we have some fixed height set on off canvas. So we have a height of 30 vh, so 30% of the screen. We should change this. How? Maybe let's say if I say inherit, then it will look like this. So I think we are good with this, right? Height inherit. We need to add this in our code. Bottom sheet. Here only, maybe on this off canvas, we have the style visibility. Here only we can have our height. Let's say inherit. Save it, and we are good now. Now let's try to add password, and this is one more issue with Blazor hybrid. So if we have something, some text field which is in the bottom side of the screen, and if this is a text box, if we try to enter something, this should have go to the top. It should have moved to the upward basically, so that we can see the text. So for this, there is no direct built-in support, but we have something. We used this in one of our previous project in the trip travel expense manager application. We used that thing. We need to find that. Hmm. So if I go in my channel, I don't remember where it was. Playlist, application, maybe here we need to find that this is the application. Let's try. Where did I add that? I think we have used this inside this only. Is this in comments? Okay, let me try to find it. It was a piece of code we need to add for Android so that we can type in there. Okay, let me try to find that. Okay, so I have that piece of code copied. I'm going to add the link in my description box so you can get this from there. So we need to go to our platform folder, platform, Android, main activity. On this main activity, we are going to have this piece of code. So we have this global layout util, assist activity, this, inside this on create, then this is the fix for Blazor web view. So I'm going to drop this link so you can check this out. And let's try to add the namespaces. Content is frame layout, get child, and this is not working. Let me close the Visual Studio and open it again. Then maybe we will have some IntelliSense and we'll be able to add the all these namespaces. Okay, we are here. I have just reopened the Visual Studio. First, let's see if it is able to pick up validator, not validatory. Data annotations validator. Bottom sheet, we are fine. This we are fine. Profile page, yes. Now let's see main activity in Android side. We can't get things to work. Find view by ID, this is fine, but ID is not in the context. Okay, so we need to use Android resources. Let's say Android resources. We have ID here. After that, we have this happening. Content dot get child at it is android dot views dot view. It returns view. So am child content. This is view. So this is coming from Microsoft dot MAUI dot controls, but this view should be somewhere from Android side. So in Android also we have Android dot views dot view. So this thing, hmm, okay, okay. Now let's try to get it working. But before that, we closed the Visual Studio, opened it again. So we need to select API, select our dev tunnel, and start the API in non-debugging mode. And once the API starts, then I'll select my physical device and I'll start the mobile app. Okay, so app is here now. Let's go to profile, change password, and we can see this now. You can click on it and it's not working. Something is not right. Did they change something? So I just checked there was one more thing. This rect, this is inside android.graphics.rect. But if we don't have it, it is also there in microsoft.maui.graphics. So it was coming from here, so I had to use this fully qualified name. For you, don't worry, I'm going to add this file on some GitHub gist and I'm going to add that link in the description so you can get this file from there and you can directly copy paste this. Alright, now if we check it, if we click on it, you see it moves upward and we have a problem. Oh, because we clicked here. So that is what we have done. We have removed our bottom sheet on clicking of this. So this behavior is up to us if we want this or not, but we are okay with this. Alright, now let's try to add password, change password. So I'm going to have incorrect password first. Some new password, save changes, and nothing is happening. Why nothing is happening? Change password form. We have changed password form. Let's put a breakpoint here. On valid submit. On valid submit. Save it. Restart. This restart is very bad actually. We always have to restart if there is some problem. Let it come. Then we'll try changing the password again. So app is here again. Let's try profile, change password, and incorrect current password, some new password, and let's try save change. And we have this breakpoint. Let's remove this breakpoint. Continue. Bot reload disabled. We are good. We have activity indicator, then incorrect password. So okay. Let's set the correct password and then try save changes. We can see activity indicator. We can see the toast and then it got removed. The bottom sheet got removed. So with this, change password functionality is done and it is looking great actually. Next thing we'll work on edit profile. Alright.